So hello and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. For a lot of people who have been asking me about what my thoughts are on the latest AI so-called revolution and their content being copied by bots, by AI bots, to train AI bots, and them not receiving compensation. Well, I think Cloudflare has a pretty good answer to that, and I will go into that in this video. So if you are a blogger or someone who produces content as part of your business and have been worried about, I don't know, like maybe AI ripping you off, or like for instance, Google's AI overviews will quote the entirety of your content. People will read that right there on Google, but they will not visit your website because they got what they wanted from Google. So there's no need to really visit your website. So if you've been worried about that for a while, Cloudflare has a solution. It's introducing now in beta. It's called pay per crawl, and it enables content owners to charge crawlers, and specifically AI crawlers, money in exchange for accessing their content. Now I have a few thoughts about this. I'll go into how this system works, and also the pros and cons of the system in my opinion. Now I don't know a lot about it, so I'm not an expert. I've not spoken to anyone from Cloudflare. If someone from Cloudflare wants to reach out to me and explain to me how exactly the system works, what the inner workings are, if I made a mistake in this video, just help me make a correction. That would be great, because this is brand new and the article doesn't go too in deep into how this works. So great thing about this is that as a content creator, you get to charge AI crawlers whatever money you want, either to access specific pages on your site or to access your whole site. So you can ask, for instance, an AI crawler to pay you $20 to access a research paper that you've written, which is on your website, or a travel article that you've written that's on your website, or you will deny it access. And the way this works is that an AI crawler will come to your site will show it a 402 error. So 402 error with a header that says, you know what, this is the price list for you to get access, and you can set that price list. So you can set the price list for, let's say, $20 to access your website. The crawler will agree to that depending on the thresholds set, and we'll go into that a little later. If the crawler agrees to pay the $20, they go ahead and they access the content that you allow it to. If you do not allow them, if they refuse to pay, you don't allow them. So if they refuse to pay, you do not allow them to access that content. In which case they see a 402 again, and so they don't have access to the content. Also, by default, all content has been locked away from AI crawlers. So if you're using Cloudflare and you've opted in, I believe you need to opt in, all of your content will be blocked from AI crawlers by default. You can set it to free access if you want, you can set it to paid access, and you can set a price list for degrees of how much access you want to provide the AI crawlers. Crawler side, what the way this will work is that the crawler would have a threshold of how much money it will pay. So an AI developer will program the crawler with a header response that says we can maximum pay $50. Okay, so when the crawler comes to your website demands $20. Since it's less than $50, it goes ahead and it gives them access to the content, and the payment goes through. If you were charging $60, the crawler comes to your content. She sees the header. It sees you were asking for $60. The crawler will deny that, will go back and see a 402 header response, in which case they do not have access to your content. Well, this will inevitably force crawlers and force AI developers to pay for crawlers and pay for crawling, in which case they're not just going to profit off your content. And this is very important, because right now that's the biggest problem is AI creators profiting off content that you've worked on and you've paid for without paying a dime. All right, and we'll go a little bit more into this later on in this video. So once the registration has been accepted, they can access your content. You can also set it at whether this is 20 bucks for runtime access or this is an all-time access. That can also be set. So you can say, all right, first crawl, 20 bucks, second crawl or subsequent crawl, maybe $5 a crawl. Okay, so you can do that. So if there are updates to your article, the bot wants to access the updates to your article, they can do that as well. And this is going to be increasingly important because now we've got these AI agents that crawl you literally your content a million times a month just to extract fragments of information. So this puts an undue load on your server, and it also means that there are far fewer people coming to your website. So what are the pros of this? So obviously one of the pros is going to be that you will get paid for your content. The second pro for this is going to be that as a content creator, you can choose to have human readers see your content for free. So if there's a human being coming onto your website, you've got advertising on your website, so you're monetizing with that advertising when human users come onto your website. But that's always a good thing. So you can choose with this that human users do not pay, and Google's non-AI crawlers do not have to pay, so that you're also ranking in Google. So that's the two positive points. There's another positive point which some people may or may not agree, is that it will force people or content creators to create real good content. So instead of just regurgitating content from elsewhere, you'll be forced to create good content so that it really stands out, and you don't have a problem with regurgitated content. But then you also need to make sure that your content is something that crawlers will pay for. So it's unique enough from all the other content. It's different enough, it's fresh enough from all the other content. So for the vast majority of use cases, news sites will probably have the most to gain from this. Right, so now there are a few drawbacks. So one of the drawbacks is that you can program your crawler to bypass a robot's text, to bypass a header, because a crawler can mimic a human user. So the website is tricked into thinking that a human user is accessing the website. So AI crawlers can do that, and they can do that right now. And so if they access your pages as a human being, there's nothing really you can do about it, unless you just block off all of your content. So that's one of the drawbacks here, and I think Cloudflare may have a workaround for this, but I'm not aware of it. The second drawback is for people who use AI, so this could rack up the prices of using AI because the training data is becoming increasingly expensive and increasingly hard to find, so that will rack up the price associated with using AI. The third drawback here is that most content owners will probably not get paid because let's say you have an article on feline nutrition, there are loads of other articles on feline nutrition, and so while you might be asking for money, others might be offering it for free. So the crawler may just choose to extract content from those pages and not your page. And also, if your article is really unique, someone could just copy your content and offer it for free to the crawler. So, there's not really a way to protect you from that. But this technology is still new. Obviously, it's still in beta. It's not rolled out for the entirety of Cloudflare. But let me know in the comments below what you think about this. I think this is a good first move to monetize your content against this onslaught of AI crawlers, agents, whatever you might want to call it. And I think there will be subsequent solutions moving forward, because this will work in the favor of both content creators and AI creators, because obviously AI needs more content and it needs good content, and so they should be willing to pay for it. So I hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe as always. Leave a comment below, and happy ranking.